Welcome to the Catholic College Admission Association and Jesuit Education Tour Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Nashira, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to the presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/NCCAA. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Santa Clara University.
Everybody, I'm going to go ahead and get started with sharing my screen. Go. If you're all seeing that, okay. My name is Usal Aguilar, and I am an Associate Director of Admission here at Santa Clara University, and I particularly work with our students from San Jose, California, and some Southeast Asian countries. So that's my territory. But Santa Clara University is located in the heart of Silicon Valley. That provides us a lot of really great opportunities for our students. Having San Francisco, Oakland be 45 minutes north of us, and we're right next to the city of San Jose, which is the 10th largest city, 10th, 11th, that teeters between the two largest city in the country. So a great metropolitan area in Silicon Valley. You know, tech is our largest industry, which provides students some opportunities for internships. And even if you're not interested in a STEM related field, it's like 80% of our alums that work within these tech companies are in non-STEM roles. So there's lots of options if you're interested in like a research or marketing or finance department within a company nearby. Most of our students are coming from in-state. It's about split. It's about 55% that are coming from the state of California, and then the rest are coming from out of state and international, with every state represented except for North Dakota. That's the only state we don't have any students from, and students coming from 38 different countries. Because of the location and the wealth of resources that our area provides, over 80% of our students graduate with at least one internship. And that's no matter the school, no matter the major. You can see our success rate for how many students are fully employed within 6 months of graduation, and some of our top employers. But there's so many multinational companies that are located here, at least have an office space in Silicon Valley. So we are a Jesuit university. There are 27 Jesuit universities in the country. 3 are in the state of California. I think there's another Jesuit joining us as well. Jesuits are an order of Catholic priests that focus on education for social change. So what we're wanting to do is educate you and show you that what you're most interested in, what you're passionate about, can be used to serve and impact your communities. We are a very open campus. We don't have any religious requirements in terms of like mass requirements or statements of faith by students, staff, or faculty. The only requirement that we have is that you take 3 religious courses, but what we're wanting to do in that is to open your perspectives. So they can be 3 classes and anything. They can be in Buddhism, in Islam, in Judaism. It really is up to you. And there are some cool perspectives too. So you can take a philosophical perspective and understand what Nietzsche and Kant would say about a specific scripture. Or there's a class called Digging Up Jesus, where it talks about the archaeological support in Christianity. So there's some interesting classes, and what Jesuits will push is for you to just broaden your horizons and engage in other cultures and other perspectives. So overall, the Jesuits, it's foundational in how we and why we educate students, but there's no requirement to be a Catholic background. Overall, in terms of stats, we have about 5,500 undergraduate students. We have a smaller academic experience. Our retention rate is really strong. That's a great question asked other schools. That's how many first-year students returned as second years, which can show expectations being met, resources being offered. And our 4-year graduation rate is also really strong. For first-gen students, it's actually a little stronger. It's at 90%. So, that means that none of our programs are impacted, or you have any difficulty getting any classes that you need. So to apply to Santa Clara, you apply to us through the Common App. We have 3 different schools, and you have to apply to a school. You don't have to necessarily apply for a major, but you do have to apply for a school. The College of Arts and Sciences is the largest. It's about 50% of our student body. The Levy School of Business, second largest, about 30%. School of Engineering, which is our smallest, at about 20% of our student body. Some of the popular programs in those schools being like communication, computer science and engineering, mechanical engineering, finance, marketing, entrepreneurship. So there's some strong programs with those, and you can move between the schools, but depending on the school, it can be a little bit competitive. So that's why we want you to apply to the school that you're most interested in. On the Common App, it doesn't have a secondary option for you to choose for a second school that you're interested in, just for one. So in the application process, you can see our middle 50% for the different schools, but we look at 3 academic areas, 3 non-academic areas. We are test optional for this year and next. So seniors and juniors, you don't have to worry about submitting your scores if you don't want them. There aren't any consequences in applying test optional. We review holistically. So that's why we look at those 3 academic and those 3 non-academic areas listed on the slide. So in terms of deadlines, we have some different application types. We do have early action and early decision. Early action is non-binding. It's if you just find out a little bit earlier. So you find out before Christmas, but the benefit is just finding out earlier. There isn't a binding process in that. In early decision 1, it is a binding contract. That means if you get in, you will go no matter what. So just, be careful with that and talk that over with your family. And then in our second deadline, January 7th, is our early decision 2 and our regular decision. Again, early decision is binding, regular decision is not. So those are the different types of applications. In terms of merit scholarship, you're automatically considered for, but at Santa Clara, it is more competitive. It's only about 10 to 15% of our admits that receive merit scholarship. But in terms of need-based aid, you're considered through FAFSA and a CSS profile. And we just need that information by those deadlines there in order for us to give you your full financial aid package after you've been admitted. It's typically a couple weeks after. In terms of other scholarships, internal ones, we'll email you and let you know whether or not you qualify and invite you to apply to specific scholarships. But overall, that's some information about the university. Our confirmation deadline is May 1st. So you just have to let us know by May 1 whether or not you're coming to Santa Clara. And if you have any questions, you can always do the scu.edu/find your counselor to see who is the counselor for your territory. I will put my information in the chat if you have any questions, or you can ask in the Q&A. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Santa Clara University. We'll now have the University of Scranton.
Great, thank you. Let me share my screen here. All right, so hopefully you're all seeing that, but hi, welcome. My name is Jill Wall. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Scranton. For those of you who don't know, Scranton is located in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's a smaller city in Pennsylvania, about 2 hours from Philly and 2 hours from New York, so a really good location. We are a Catholic Jesuit institution as well. So as our last presenter was just talking, being a Jesuit school, we are really focused on caring about our students in mind, body, and spirit, allowing each of you to have a transformative experience while you're at college, allowing you to pursue your interests, become the best version of yourself while you're here. So at Scranton, not only are we concerned with sending good professionals out into the world, but really want to send good people out into the world as well. With our Catholic identity, that is something that we're very proud of. Again, it doesn't mean that anybody has to be Catholic, Christian, or religious at all to come to Scranton. We're accepting of all students of different faiths, backgrounds, beliefs, traditions, and everybody will certainly have the opportunity to explore and to develop their faith while they're a Scranton student. To take a look at Scranton by the numbers, we are a smaller to medium-sized institution. So we have an undergrad student population of just about 3,800. I think it's that perfect smaller to medium size because no matter where you go on campus, you see somebody you know, but you're constantly meeting new people as well. When it comes to the classroom, we definitely like to keep our class sizes on the smaller side. So our average class size is 20 students and classes are capped off at 35 students. We have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you really get to know all of your professors and they really get to know you. Those are some of the most valuable relationships that you're going to form while you're at Scranton. And they are relationships that will serve you for your whole time at Scranton and your time afterward as well. So if you ever need letters of recommendation or references or anything like that, you'll have plenty of people to choose from. And we have an 89% first year retention rate. So students are very much enjoying their Scranton experience and choosing to come back to continue the rest of their college experience at Scranton. Now, when it comes to academics at Scranton, we like to say it's really all about finding and pursuing your passion. So whether you have a pretty good idea of what you want to study, or maybe you're not so sure, both of those are totally fine. You know, we don't expect you to have your life figured out at this point, but we do expect to help you figure it out while you're at Scranton. So we have 69 majors, 50 minors that you can choose from. We also have 39 concentrations. So lots of ways that you can kind of personalize your education and make it your own. All of our programs are divided into 3 colleges. So we have our College of Arts and Sciences, Aquinas School of Management, which is our business school, and then our Aquinas College of Professional Studies, which is our helping professions school. So they're split that way primarily just for advising purposes. You're going to have an advisor directly from your college. So there's somebody who really knows the ins and outs of your program and is going to be able to give you really specific advice. We also have great honors programs if you're interested in kind of pushing yourself academically. We have research opportunities for all students, and you can get involved in research as early as your first semester on campus. And then we have great pre-health and pre-law advisory programs for students as well. Over the past 20 years, our students who have applied to health professional schools like med school have had an 80% acceptance rate. And over the past 6 years, our students who have applied to law schools have had a 96% acceptance rate. So we've seen really great results come from those programs. To talk a little bit about what's going on at Scranton, besides just classes and academics, there are so many different ways that you can get involved, so many different fun things that you can do. We have over 80 clubs and organizations that students can join. There is literally a club for everyone. We also have over 900 events that happen on campus. So every day of the week, whether it's a weekday, a weekend, whatever it might be, there's always something that you can go to, always something fun that you can get involved with. If you're interested in sports, we're also a D3 school. So that's definitely something you can get involved with as well. Here's a little bit of information about those D3 sports. You can see we have 23 men's and women's sports teams that you could join. And if you're interested in playing, we just recommend getting in contact with the coach, but we also have club sports and intramural sports too. As far as our application goes, we are on the Common App. It's the only app we use, the only app that you have to fill out. It is completely free, so you don't need a fee waiver or anything like that to, cut the price. It's just free right off the bat. And I'll go over some dates on the next slide, but now you can just take a look at our accepted student profile. So the numbers that you're seeing on the screen are reflective of our middle 50% of accepted students, meaning we accept students from 25% above and below those ranges. So this is just what we're looking for on average. But when it comes to reviewing our applicants, we really like to use more of a holistic approach. We want you to be well-rounded students. So we want to take a well-rounded approach to reviewing your application. So not only do we care about your GPA, your test scores, if you submit them, we really want to get to know more about who you are as an individual, where you fit in your community, what you do, what you're all about. So we love reading your letters of recommendation, your personal statements, and we love looking at the list of everything that you're involved with. So make sure to put focus into that part of the application as well, since it does mean just as much to us as the other info. And we are a test optional school. That's something we have been for the past couple of years, and it's something that we plan to continue to do for the next couple of years as well. Now, like I said, here's some dates to keep in mind for the application. The first one's really the best one to keep in mind. It's our early action deadline. So we only have early action. We don't have early decision. So if you apply early action, it's non-binding. You're just going to get your decision back a little bit earlier. So if you apply by November 15th, you're going to get your decision back on December 15th. If you miss the November 15th deadline, definitely not the end of the world. You can still apply anytime after that. We work on a rolling admissions basis at that point and typically can get decisions back to students within about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the time of year. March 1st is just our preferred deadline for first year applicants if you do miss November 15th. And then regardless of when you apply, regardless of when you get your decision, you just have to let us know by May 1st. As far as scholarship goes, every year we're able to offer generous scholarship packages to all students. And as soon as you apply, you're automatically considered for merit-based scholarships. So there's no additional pieces of information or additional applications that you would have to submit. And our 4-year totals for scholarships range from about $60,000 to $112,000. And then as far as financial aid goes, you just have to fill out the FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid, which opened October 1st. If you're interested in seeing Scranton, you can come for a visit Monday through Saturday, or we have our 2 big open houses coming on Sunday, October 24th and Sunday, November 7th. So definitely come check us out if you're able to.
All right, thank you, University of Scranton. We'll now have the Catholic University of America.
Perfect. All right, I am going to pull up my presentation now. Hopefully everyone can see this. All right, thanks so much for everyone joining us tonight. It's ironic, I coached basketball here at Catholic U for 7 years, and our #1 rival was the University of Scranton, and I have to follow them now, but that's okay. Very similar institutions. We're about 4.5 hours down I-81 here in Washington, D.C. We're 3 miles north of the Capitol building. We have about 3,100 undergraduate students. 80% of our students self-identify as Catholic. 27% of our student body self-identify as ethnically diverse. On campus here, we have 34 research centers. We are the second oldest graduate research institution in the United States, and we're actually going to be adding a research center to our campus in Rome. The average class size is about 19, and we are the largest and greenest campus here in the nation's capital. We have 176 acres. One of the things we always talk about, and we encourage students to come and visit us here in Washington, D.C. We are a residential campus community. You will not notice that you are in the heart of Washington, D.C. I always say if we blindfold you and parachute you into the middle of campus, you'd have no idea that you are 3 miles from the U.S. Capitol building, just 3 metro stops or subway stops away from the National Mall. On campus, you'll never be bored. We have DC at our disposal, but we do have over 100 student clubs and organizations here on campus. We are Division III, just as the University of Scranton is. We're in the Landmark Conference for the majority of our sports. For football, we are in the NUMAC Conference. We just had a big win on Saturday over MIT, but we're in the NUMAC for football, along with MIT and a lot of institutions that are military-based. So United States Coast Guard Academy, United States Merchant Marine Academy, et cetera. If you're interested in sports, but not necessarily at the varsity level, we do have 9 club sports and 16 intramural leagues for our students. And there's 2 fitness centers on campus. We have the Kane Fitness Center for our general student population, as well as the Raymond A. Dufour Center for our student athletes. That is primarily for our student athletes. And then on campus, each and every week, we have 40 to 50 events and service opportunities. We just had the Mother Teresa Day of Service a few weeks back. Fun fact about Mother Teresa, the first honorary doctorate that she received in the United States was from Catholic University back in 1971. And then we also have the Martin Luther King Day of Service in the spring. Those are our major service days. About 90% of our campus student body will be involved on those days doing service. That's all voluntary. And 100% of our student athletes will be involved doing service each of those days. I mentioned it before, we're 3 miles north of the Capitol building. We are 3 metro stops away. All of that's within about 12 minutes for our students. We have immediate metro/subway. Here in DC, we call it the metro, but for everyone else around the country, it's a subway. But we are 3 stops north of Union Station. That gets our students all up and down the Eastern Seaboard via Amtrak. But you also have access to the 3 major airports in the Washington metro area as well via the metro. It also gives you access to everything you think of when you think of Washington, D.C. The history, the culture, the music, the sports. I used to say you were 5 stops away from watching the Caps and Wizards lose in the second round every year. But luckily for me as a D.C. sports fan, the Caps won it in 2018, the Nationals in 2019. So plenty of opportunities to get out into the city in addition to studying here at Catholic U. The big thing that the Metro Map gives our students is access to internships, which I'll touch upon now. So we have changed the way that we do academic and career advising. When I was a student here at Catholic from 2010 to 2014, you had an academic advisor on one side of the hall, you had a career advisor on the other, and that worked perfectly fine, but we realized that a lot of times the conversations were really paralleling each other. So we decided to integrate our academic and career advising. So each of our advisors is now cross-trained to talk about both sides of the spectrum. They're going to talk about what classes you have to take first semester freshman year, but they're also going to talk about what your goals and aspirations are as a student and what you want to do with a Catholic U degree. We're going to start that conversation right off the bat. 90% of our students are currently employed, serving, or continuing their education within 6 months of graduation. And there's over 3,000 internship opportunities for our students each and every year. And you can see some of the highlights that we have here in the bottom left-hand corner. From an academic standpoint, we have over 70 undergraduate degree programs, over 60 minor and certificate programs as well. Plenty to offer. We're one of 3 Catholic institutions in the country that has a fully accredited architecture program. The Bush School of Business is our newest program. We have a $60 million business facility here on campus as well. School of Engineering offers a lot of things from environmental engineering to civil engineering to mechanical engineering. It's one of our smaller schools, but it offers a lot. I think you're going to find that to be a trend here at Catholic U. We have the only music school here in Washington, D.C. Our most competitive program at Catholic U is the Conway School of Nursing. We just received $60 million to create a new nursing and science facility. It's going to be right behind our admission office here on campus. It's also going to double the size of our nursing school. The National Catholic School of Social Service is the #1 social work school amongst Catholic colleges and universities in the country. We are top 3 at the undergraduate level. We are #1 at the graduate level. And for that reason, the highest percentage of students who stick around, not only to get their bachelor's, but to also get their master's, come out of our social work school. And then, of course, we're the Catholic University of America. We're the only Catholic school in the country that was founded by a papal charter. We're the only one that has a direct line to the Pope. The last 3 popes that visited the United States each time made a point to go ahead and come to Catholic U. And the only saint that was ever beatified here on U.S. soil was actually on our campus at Catholic U. And then I don't want to forget about the very first one, the School of Arts and Sciences, that is our largest university here at Catholic U. That's our largest school. From an application standpoint, very straightforward. We keep it very simple. One thing I do want to mention is our next application deadline is November 1st. We are a test blind institution. That is different than test optional. We do not look at SAT or ACT scores for the basis of admission to the university or for scholarship, financial aid, or the university honors program. And then last but not least, our financial aid. So from a merit standpoint, anywhere from $15,000 to $32,000. If you are a member of a Roman Catholic parish, we do offer a parish scholarship that is $4,000 per year. It stacks on top of our merit scholarships. And we have a legacy grant for anyone who has a parent, sibling, grandparent, or step-parent that graduated from Catholic U. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. There is no separate application for any scholarships here at Catholic U. All right. Perfect.
Thank you, Catholic U. We will have the University of St. Thomas next.
Good evening. My name is Martin Morales. I'm the Associate Director of Undergraduate Admission here at the University of St. Thomas. Let me go ahead and share my screen as well. Awesome. So if you guys can let me know if you can see my screen. We are the University of St. Thomas. We are located in Houston, Texas. We're located in the heart of Houston. We are a small private Catholic university. We're about 10 minutes from downtown Houston in the business district. We're also about 10 minutes from the medical center and the museum district. So a number of our students participate in internship opportunities here in the city. We are so blessed to be in Houston. It is the 4th largest city in the country and the largest in Texas. It's also one of the most diverse cities in the country. And so for our institution, we have about 3,500 students total. 2,100 of our students are undergraduate students and 1,400 are graduate students. As I mentioned, being in one of the most diverse cities in America, our student population reflects that as well on our campus. 70% of our student body is ethnically diverse. A number of those students are identified as Hispanic Latino. We are a Hispanic serving institution, so that's pretty crucial to our population here in the state of Texas and in the city of Houston. We do have a number of students from out of state. We have 34 states represented on our campus and 50 countries. So we have a pretty good size international population as well. It's pretty reflective of Houston being an international city as well. A little bit more about St. Thomas. You really get the best of both worlds. You're going to get a small private Catholic school education, but all the benefits of being in a large city. As I mentioned before, about 2,100 undergraduate students. We do have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So for every one faculty member, they have about 12 students. Average class size for our institution is about 17 students. So you're going to be able to develop those relationships with our faculty very closely. In addition, we have a number of undergraduate research opportunities as well. So we really like to capitalize on that small campus size and really leverage being in one of the largest cities in America and capitalize on our position near the medical center, as well as the heart of Houston and the business district as well. And so, as I mentioned, we are a Catholic institution and we are of the Basilian order. And so with that said, you're looking at our charisms, and about 65% of our students identify as Catholic. The other 35% do not. We're open to all faiths. We want to help you grow in your faith, whatever that may be. And so we want our students to have their heart bent toward goodness in whatever they may do and whatever they pursue. Our next pillar in charism is discipline, and not disciplinary action or going to the principal's office or the dean's office, but rather doing what we know you have to do, right? Going to classes on time, getting involved with our student organizations, with our faculty, and really be in discipline in capitalizing on everything that the university has to offer. And so, of course, we want you to have your heart bent toward goodness, do what you know you're supposed to do, all in the pursuit of knowledge. And once you get that knowledge here at the institution, really putting that into practice and making a real change with the charisms that you're learning in and out of the classroom. And then we promise that we do all of this in the form of community, in the sense of belonging. And so we and our Basilian fathers teach us that without goodness, discipline, community, that the knowledge that we gain at our institution is really just trivia. And so we want to put all of this together, your college experience, so that when you do go out into the world, you really are making a transformational impact, and that your faith is grown, whatever that faith may be. And so that's kind of where our basis really lies in our Catholic and liberal arts tradition, is that you're really harvesting and taking advantage of everything that we're able to offer. In mentioning our offerings, we have a number of different majors that you can choose from. And so on the screen, you will see our most popular majors on the campus. And so we do have 5 different academic schools. We do have our Colby School of Innovation and Professional Studies. So if you're looking for more of an online hybrid experience, that's going to be your best route. We do offer associate degree programs, which is very interesting for a 4-year institution. It has really helped us stay marketable in the Texas market, especially during the time of COVID, for our online studies. We do have our College of Arts and Sciences, which will have all of our humanities and, of course, the sciences. Engineering, we do have STEM on there. Engineering is our most popular STEM major. In addition to biology, you'll see nursing as well. The School of Nursing is our next academic school, which is the most popular on our campus. We typically have a wait list each year for our School of Nursing. We also have our Cameron School of Business. Our Cameron School of Business does boast a BBA to MBA program that you can finish in 5 years. That is one of our most popular business programs. And then, of course, we have our School of Education and Human Services. And so I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our pre-law students within the School of Arts and Sciences has an 80% acceptance rate into law school. Our College of Education and Human Services, we have a 95% job placement rate within the educational school setting. The other 5% of our students are accepted into graduate school and will pursue their graduate studies. So I'm going to skip just a little bit. I know my time is up. You are able to apply for scholarships and admissions. With one application, you can apply on our website or apply Texas. We are test optional. You'll just need to submit your transcripts. On the application, it will identify if you are applying with test scores or not. And this is our contact information. So I look forward to visiting with you guys after the presentation.
Thank you so much, University of St. Thomas. We'll now have Molloy College.
Hello, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen here. Okay. Okay, so my name is Kim Webb, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here at Molloy College. We're located in Long Island, New York, about 40 miles from New York City. And we're a small Catholic liberal arts college founded in the Dominican tradition. So, sorry, 25 miles from Midtown Manhattan, depending on where you go in Manhattan. Again, we're a medium-sized college, and our student to faculty ratio is 10-1. We've have a couple of accolades that we've been nominated and voted for. One of the best colleges in the Northeast, top value, top regional colleges in the Northeast. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way. And also one of the safest colleges in New York and #2 in the US. So we offer more than 50 undergraduate programs and many graduate programs as well. Beyond the classroom, we do have what's called freshman learning communities, and that's for students who come in for their freshman year, and it's a cohort of courses in their first semester that are grouped together depending on their major. We have an honors program, a pre-professional programs in pre-med, pre-dental, pre-law, and pre-vet. We offer many, many internships and a lot of global learning opportunities and study abroad opportunities as well. This is a list of all of our majors. We have actually 4 different schools. We have the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, and that includes our nursing major, our speech language pathology, and our allied health majors. We also have the School of Business, and all of our business programs are offered on a 4-year program or a 5-year program in business management, economics, finance, marketing, accounting, and most recently, entertainment and sport management. We also have the School of Education and Human Services, which includes all of our education programs and social work. And then our School of Arts and Sciences, which includes all of our arts and science programs. We also have the Molloy Cap 21 Theater Arts Program, and that is strictly a musical theater program. And that is in conjunction with our Manhattan Center. So students do their academic courses here at our campus, and then they do travel into Manhattan 2 days a week for the theater courses. This is one of our residence halls, our most recent residence hall, Wagner Hall. We house about 350 students on campus. So the majority of our students do commute. And however, we do have a small population that do live here, and that's only most recently. Our first students came to the residence halls in 2011. So it's really still very new to us, but it's really made the campus a lot more vibrant. We're Division II sports. So we have different women's sports and men's sports, softball, baseball, cross country. Equestrian is a club sport here, which is very rare to find. We also have esports. Some of our student life activities, we have very vibrant student life. So even though the majority of our students are commuters, most of our students are here all day and evening. We have color wars, we have intramural games, we have relays, we have Pet and Alpaca Day, we have pet therapy, Maroon Madness. So there's a lot going on campus. And so what do you need to apply? Molloy is rolling admissions, which means that we do not have a deadline. You would need to submit the Molloy application or the Common App, a personal essay, and your high school transcripts. We do like to see a resume of some sort to see what kind of activities you were involved in. And our SAT, ACT is optional, so we are a test optional school. And the only deadline we do have is if you are looking for a full scholarship, you would need to apply by December 15th. Okay, so for regular admissions, we're really looking for an 82 average. Our nursing program is one of the biggest in the Northeast, and we look for an average of about 85 or higher. It is a direct entry program for nursing. So what that means is that when you're accepted to the college, you are accepted straight into the nursing program, and you even start in the first nursing course your very first semester. By the time you're in your sophomore year, you are going to be doing hands-on clinical work within the hospital. This is just a picture of our nursing lab here. The honors program, we look for 93 average and higher. And then we also have what's called the St. Thomas Aquinas program, and that is for students who may be borderline admissions requirements, but show a lot of potential to really succeed in college. So you have extra support services with that program. Our tuition is around $32,000 per year. It's 15% lower than most of the private four-year colleges on Long Island. 92% of our freshmen receive some type of financial aid. And then our academic and merit scholarships are all automatic, so you do not need to apply for them. And they start usually about an 88 average. And then we also have some funded and community service and leadership scholarship opportunities. To reach out to us, admissions@molloy.edu, or you can also visit our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Molloy College. We'll now have Aquinas College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy Wood. I am the Director of Admissions at Aquinas. I'll pull up my screen here. Okay. A couple things about Aquinas College. We believe that we are small but mighty. We have approximately 1,500 total students. Our average class size is about 14 students, and we have a 10-to-1 student faculty ratio as well. We pride ourselves on helping students turn their passion into purpose and living in many buckets. So students don't come to Aquinas just for a particular sport or program. They're at Aquinas because they want to do all of it. And we allow them, we have plenty of opportunities for them to do that. 93% of our graduates from the class of 2020 are either employed or in graduate school within 6 months, which is outstanding, obviously. One of the accolades I'm most proud of during my time here at Aquinas is that we have been, for the last 3 years, listed on U.S. News and World Report's list of top performers in social mobility. So we really pride ourselves on helping students move up the social ladder, if you will. Recognized on a number of lists with the colleges of distinction as well. We are located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is the second largest city in the state, one of the fastest growing cities in the Midwest. And this year, U.S. News ranked Grand Rapids as the number 7 most affordable place to live in the U.S. So many things to do. I've been in Grand Rapids since my time as a student at Aquinas, so about 25 years. And I often tell students, I look back and wonder, with all the growth that I've seen at Aquinas, even in the last few years, I wonder how I wasn't bored. Just so many things going on there. As I mentioned, we are a Catholic college in the Dominican tradition, similar to Molloy. We really pride ourselves on the involvement of the Dominican sisters in the founding of Aquinas, and their focus on helping our students pursue truth. And have some of the more difficult conversations with each other and with faculty, with others in the community, but doing so in a respectful way, understanding each other's viewpoints rather than approaching it as a debate, if you will. We do have 29 athletic teams. We're part of the NAIA, which does mean we are able to offer athletic scholarships. Our newest programs, we added 4 last year, men's and women's swimming and men's and women's rugby. In fact, our swim team just had their first meet this past weekend. So exciting stuff. We do offer intramural sports. We have 8 study abroad programs. Our oldest is to Tully Cross, Ireland, which is in the Connemara region. I am an alum of that program, one of the best experiences of my life. 14 plus service learning trips to places like Peru, the Dominican Republic, Maine, and other places in the US. Over 35 registered clubs and organizations We often tell students, if you can find 3 more people that are interested in something that we don't offer, we'll start a club for it. So very easy for students to pursue their interests outside of the classroom. We do have more than 60 majors available. Aquinas was founded as a teaching college, so education is always a strong area for us and a point of pride. Business administration and the sciences tend to be our most popular programs. And then in terms of unique programs, we were the first college in the country that we were able to find that offered a bachelor's degree in sustainable business. That's been in a program for us for about 15 years now. Child life was recently added. Translation and interpretation, community leadership for those who want to help work with some of the nonprofit organizations in their community. In Grand Rapids, there's an organization called Kids Food Basket that has been recognized nationally for their work, and that the executive director of that is one of the first alums of the community leadership program. We do have a Catholic Studies minor. One of the more unique ones, I think, is our Theater for Social Change major. And then biochemistry and molecular biology was added recently as well. We do offer a nursing program in collaboration with the University of Detroit Mercy. It is a direct admit program as well. So students are admitted directly into the nursing program. They don't need to hope their number gets called out of a lottery or anything like that to get into it. In terms of scholarships, we range from $14,000 a year to $24,000. Students are invited to a Spectrum Scholarship competition where we do offer some full tuition awards, in addition to some extra scholarship money. You can see a couple other of the options here, which of course leads to costs. All in this year, students are looking at about $46,500, $46,398 there to be exact. As you can see, rounding up, 100% of our students receive financial aid. I think I can count on my fingers how many students are not. And we do have a financial aid appeals process. The application process is a very holistic one. We are test optional this year. We were this past year as well. Our faculty will be continuing to review that throughout this year in the hopes of making that permanent. You can see the average grade point average for first year students. We do not have an application fee, but we do ask for an essay, and we are set up to receive transcripts electronically. Just a couple open house dates here, as I know my time's up, but I'll put my contact information as well in the chat. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you so much, Aquinas. I would like for everyone to come back on their videos, and we'll have a quick Q&A. So for our first school, Santa Clara University, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Definitely in utilizing your resources. So in your high school counselor, reaching out to them, talking about local scholarships, and then reaching out to fellow admission counselors. We all do this work because we love helping and supporting students in accessing higher education. So just utilizing the resources that you have around and asking questions for sure.
All right, Scranton, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
One thing I hope everybody remembers about Scranton, we are here for you. You know, we're here for you throughout the application process. If you choose to come to Scranton, we're here for you. We care about you. We want to see you succeed. The Scranton community and the Scranton family is truly one that is with you for life. And it's one that will care about you and support you in every way possible. So definitely keep that in mind and, you know, pick a school where you'll feel happy and cared for. And I forgot to put my email in the chat before, so I'm going to do that now if anybody has any questions.
Catholic University of America, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
Yeah, there's been a hot kind of button topic for us lately, and it's test blind. What does that mean? We were test optional for about 5 years, and institutional research showed that the greatest indication of student success here at Catholic U wasn't what they did on a standardized test. It's what they did in the classroom day in and day out. So I just want every student to know, put that first and foremost. It's not a slight at any school that requires standardized tests or a school that is test optional. But for us, we found through our application process, recalculating GPAs, looking at strength of curriculum, that again, the highest indicator of student success here at Catholic U is what they did day in and day out in the classroom. And I think that takes a barrier down for a lot of students from a standardized testing standpoint.
University of St. Thomas, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Yeah, so I would echo what Santa Clara said to make sure that you utilize all of your resources at your high school or your community college. If you're a transfer student, make sure you utilize your college advising and transfer partners. I would also add, make sure that you connect with each admissions office and with your admissions counselors. Each institution has a designated admissions counselor for each different, region of your particular state or country. Make sure that you're utilizing all of us, get all of your questions answered from the point of, hey, I'm just interested to your application, to I'm admitted, what's next, to, hey, I have questions on my financial aid, orientation. We are here to help you through the entire stages of and not just the application process, but the enrollment cycle. And so even if you're a first generation student, many of us are, so don't feel hesitancy, or if you're an alumni student, a legacy student, hey, be open-minded, ask all the questions and look at every institution, because we all have something unique to offer.
Right, thank you. Molloy College, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
I think that what I'd like students to remember, and what they do remember when they do leave here, is all the leadership opportunities, the community engagement, the service opportunities. There's so much of that available to them, and they leave here coming out a well-rounded student and person.
Aquinas College, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
I guess the biggest one is that it's a scary process. I think all of us here on the screen are happy to talk with students. I know that's easy for me to say and harder for families to hear. But really what we're trying to do as institutions is identify the students that are going to be able to succeed at our schools. And I often tell students, a denial is not a no, never to speak to us again. We often will find ways to set up plans for people that really want to be at the institution. And I would hope everybody echoes that as well. That, setting up a transfer plan is a great opportunity as well.
Awesome. So I want to thank you all as panelists. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you could provide. We encourage you to check back on the schedule and sign up for more sessions. You'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings, at strivescan.com/NCCAA. Thank you so much and have a great one. Bye.